Yes, and the comforting sounds of the bridge section from the Scherzo ushers us into another missions. Yes, a slightly unexpected missions, and greetings to you, Mr. W. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah, well, I did decide to do it today, and because we've got another theme to exploit, and of course that's the name of the game here. These are serendipitous happenings where we find new and wondrous ideas to flesh out. Of course, last week we had the episode of the Roller, the professional 77 Mark III tape machine, which suddenly appeared at the doorstep. And that machine's now up and running. It's been working very nicely, and I've even found a place for it. I've made a new shelf, and we've got even less space in the booth. But that's what it's all about. It's all about it's a form of connection with a tradition. Anyhow, I'm vk3sl, and we are testing. These are tone tests to validate volume and clarity on the amateur bands. Nothing to do with entertainment, of course. We certainly don't wish you to be entertained. You do and listen on the stream if you want to be entertained, because there is a streaming service, and that's all happening on YT as we speak, I think. Yes, it looks like it's up and running. Yay, but the story today is that on the way home from work, which was not very long ago, it's only about an hour ago, I had to go into the ALP shop because our kettle broke down. And we in a household like ours, we just can't live without a kettle. So needed one in earnest. So usually there's a big, huge salvo shop just down the road from where I work, and of course they had an abundance of kettles, so I picked one out. But also, yes, we have to have a cursory look through the vinyl, and there was a whole stack of 45s. Now, all without covers, all in terrible condition, and all 20 cents each. Well, I went through them all. Most of them were sort of too far, well, they were all too far gone, but some of the labels really jumped out at me, and they are Polish records. So I really don't know what's on them, other than a very, very quick sample, and it sounds quite sort of provincial and good. And the labels I'd never heard of. As I said, I can't read them. But, why not have a Polish missions tonight? It'll bring me back to the Czech Republic, where we lived for a better part of, well over 6 months. And, it'll be a nice revisit to that. Now, the only thing with these discs is that they are in the worst condition I've seen 45s. They really do look unplayable. And they didn't have covers, and that's why they were 20 cents each, I think. But I went into the cupboard and I picked out my jar of vinyl solution. Yes, back in the 80s when I was very naive. I'm still naive, but I was even more naive back then. I went for some stupid high-end product which was supposed to make vinyl sound more silent. Well, I don't think it really does anything other than just lubricate the record when your record's in really bad nick and stops it jumping. Anyhow, there was a little bit left, and I thought I'd just put it on these records to see if it improved things, because there was so much noise, it was just, they were impossible. So a few minutes ago, I gave them the treatment, and you know what? I recognise the smell of this product. Now I'm a little bit more worldly. I know what it is. It's brake oil. That's what it is, folks, brake oil. So I've been putting brake oil on these records, giving them a swipe. This whole room just stinks now. And so there, let's cut to the chase. Let's have a listen to some Polish music on a 45, Polish label, Polish musicians. And yeah, I'd say these are from the 1960s. I put them through the noise processor because that'll at least give us a little bit more relief from the static and the noise. But let's have a listen. vk3sl testing.
nocy czas, gdy księżyc w niebie lśni, cygański tabor wzywa nas, na strunach skrzypiec smyczek drży. Choć jasny jest księżyca blask, choć śpiewu tyle w krąg, cień jakiś w swoich oczach masz, gdy ręce dotykają rąk. Jam duri 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 da, jam duri 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 da, jam duri 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 ay duri 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 dai dai da, jam duri 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 dai da, duri dai duri dai dai da, jam duri 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 jam duri 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 dai dai da. Ogniska płomień dawno zgasł, w popiele skrył się żar, lecz noc ta pozostanie w nas, bo tkwi w niej dziwny czar. Yam duri 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 da, yam duri 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 da, yam duri 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 ay duri 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 dai dai da, yam duri 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 dai dai da, duri 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 dai dai da, yam duri 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 yam duri 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 dai dai da.
I think we should hear some more. Let's hear the second track on this unknown album.
Niosła rzeka łódkę w dół. Zamiast żeby trzymał wiosła, mnie on durny trzymał w pół. W złocie cały świat, w srebrze cały świat, w sercu cały świat na opak. A skąd to tak, a stąd to tak, że przy mnie miły chłopak. A skąd to tak, a stąd to tak, że przy mnie miły chłopak. Oj, nieszczęście, strach po prostu rzucił miły, poszedł precz. Hej, skoczyłabym ja z mostu, pozostała jedna rzecz. W złocie cały świat, w srebrze cały świat, w sercu cały świat na opak. A jak to tak, a tak to tak, że przy mnie inny chłopak. Chociaż w lesie drzew niemało, ale dąb nad nimi wciąż. Chociaż wielu mnie kochało, ale żaden tak jak mąż. W złocie cały świat, w srebrze cały świat, w sercu cały świat na opak. A czemu to, a temu to, że przy mnie własny chłopak? A czemu to, a temu to, że przy mnie własny chłopak?
Well, there we go. That is Polish music from the 1960s, folk music of 45, discovered only a couple of hours, well, just over an hour ago in the op shop. Now, I'm keen to find out a little bit more, see if there's anything on English on the label, because it's really characterful singing. It's great music. It's got that sort of wonderful folky, I don't know, guise to it. It reminds me very much of the Czech Republic. There used to be a lot of little folk clubs all over the place when we stayed there. And yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, there's a couple of English translations on this. It's on the Privut label. Polski Nagria Wasor. It says Gypsy Romances. There we go. And Jadwiga Polska song. Well, that was Moldovan's Song and The Boat. Now, if we turn it over, it's completely... Oh, here we go. No, I can't read this. The Black Eyes. In the Russian language here. Oh, okay. Well, we'll have a listen to side B. We've got to give these records a Guernsey. This is terrific stuff. I'm really pleased about this. And that noise reduction system, yes, I think it is brake fluid or transmission fluid or something terrible. And I think you're right, Wayne, it is corrosive. It's probably doing a terrible amount of damage to everything here. Certainly is to my my sense of smell. God, it permeates. All right, well, we'll give this a whirl, see where it takes us. vk3sl sampling, as we go, the music of Poland.
Так грустно взять гитару, да спеть песню про любовь, или поехать лучше к яру, разогреть шампанским кровь. Цыганки, эх, молодые, будут петь, плясать всю ночь. Раздарю им золотые, отгоню тоску я прочь. Эй, ямщик, гони, как яро, лошадей, брат, не жалей. Тройку ты запряни не пару, эх, веди же веселей. Трудной ночью белой вьюгой снежной пылью занесет. В сани сяду я с подругой, ямщик песню запоет. Но когда приедем к яру, отогреемся, друзья, и под звонкую встретим мы до утра. Эй, обождик, гони, как я, лошадей, брат, не жалей. Тройку ты запряни, не пару, эх, веди же веселей. Эх, вези же веселей.
This is vk3sl testing, and we're sampling some 45s made in Poland in the 1960s.
Очи черные, очи ясные, очи жгучие и прекрасные. Лишь увидел вас, потерял покой, и весь мир забыл для ней одной. Ваши очи жгуче пламенны и манят они в страны дальние, где царит любовь, где царит покой, где страдания нет, где вражды запрет. Не встречал бы вас, не страдал бы так, и я бы прожил жизнь, улыбаясь. Вы сгубили меня. Очи черные унесли навек мое счастье. Навек мое счастье.
Sorry, I was called inside. Yeah, we had Black Eyes. That finished a bit earlier than I thought. Okay, well, we'll just retire that record, and I can't provide any more information. So this says, in the Russian language, gypsy romances. Jadwiga Polinska is the name of the artist, I think. I presume. Yes. Anyhow, we're just looking through this pile of 45s picked up at the local op shop, and that's the name of the game today. We're just sampling records. And what else here? Some of them are sort of popish. I'll see if there's anything of that could be interessant. Let's see. Blue Jeans. Oh. Another one on the Privut label. Made in Poland, it says. Ballad of the Town Hall Clock. These are sort of in fine print under the titles. I might even attempt to read them out in Polish. It is a really tricky language to get around. I know Kate spent a lot of time learning the Czech language, and it wasn't easy. And I was lazy. I'm sorry to say I should have, but I didn't. Well, this is Piotr Jansvetsky, Spew, S-P-I-E-W. I don't think that means what I originally thought it meant. I think it might mean vocalist. So anyhow, we'll put this on. We'll see what happens. Whether or not it'll work or not, I'm not sure. I'll have to give the Stardust a clean. I'll probably wreck the Stardust now. But I do remember this product. The Vinyl Solution, it's called. And it stinks. And I'm pretty sure it's brake fluid. Anyhow, let's have a listen to another Polish track. And I'm vk3sl. Testing.
Już może miał przyjaciół dobrych ze stu, a ja mam.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of mistracking there. Now let me just do a quick check and see if what's happening. It might be just that I'm sampling it incorrectly. Now, we might also try and put another weight onto the tone arm. They need a fair bit of tracking weight, these records. They are not quality vinyl by any sense of the imagination. We'll try this one now. I might just give the stylus another clean, see if we can get some traction. It might need quite a clean. Okay, got my blob of blue tack and a $2 coin rather than a 5-cent coin on top of the head shell, and we'll see if this wakes up. vk3sl.
Już może miał przyjaciół dobrych ze stu, a ja mam wiernego od lat przyjaciela i drucha. Tam dzion, tam ja, zawsze on, ja, i on, ja, i razem ze mną przez cały świat. Gdzie ja to on, gdzie on to ja, wędruję od wielu lat. Gdzie ja to on, gdzie on to ja, wędruję od wielu lat. Tylko noc rozdziela nas, odchodzi on w zaświaty, a rankiem znów, tak już od lat, przychodzi przyjaciel mój. Tam dzion, tam ja, zawsze on, ja, i on, ja, i razem ze mną przez cały świat. Gdzie ja to on, to ja, wędruje wierny mój cień. Gdzie ja to on, to ja, wędruje wierny mój cień. Tam gdzie on, tam ja, zawsze on, ja, i on, ja, i razem ze mną przez cały świat. Gdzie ja to on, to ja, wędruję wierny mój cień. Gdzie ja to on, to ja, wędruję wierny mój cień. Gdzie ja to on, to ja, wędruję wierny mój cień. Gdzie ja to on,
Yes, a little bit lame. So, some folk influence, yeah, and sort of, a nod to American pop from the 50s. I'd like to know more about these, though. It would be interesting. There's probably a good social story behind them. There's probably some Polish immigrant, and this was their pride and joy. And I won't play the second track on that one. Oh, do you want to hear Ballad of the Town Hall Clock? Oh, it's so Polish, isn't it? So Eastern Europe. I love it. Oh, I've got to hear this. It's probably be just as bad. But this is the place to test the water. You're sampling these records, and they stick. I've got the door open in here, the fan on. Okay, here we go. Next selection, vk3sl. Testing!
Gdy miasto zasnęło i ciemno się robi dokoła, na wieży ratusza strudzony dniem pracy śpi czas. Wśród nocy bezgwiezdnej, gdy nocny stróż lampy zapala, to zegar staruszek na dzwonkach piosenki nam gra. Bim bom, bim bom, Agnieszce, Beacie, bim bom, na dzwonkach piosenki nam gra. Sprzedaję piosenki, kupujcie za grosze miedziane. Na wieży ratusza rozkładam swój stragan co noc. Dla ciebie piosenka, dla twojej dziewczyny kochana. Za grosik ją kupisz, a ona znów szczęście wam da. Bimbo, bimbo, Teresce, Joannie, bimbo, bimbo, a ona znów szczęście wam da. Sprzedawca piosenek na wieży ratusza już zasnął. Układać on będzie refreny piosenek przez sen. Gdy lampy zabłysną wśród wąskich uliczek miasteczka, posłuchaj jak zegar wybija piosenki co noc. Bimbo, bimbo, Krystynie, Barbarze, bimbo, bimbo, wybija piosenki co noc. Bimbo, bimbo, Krystynie, Barbarze, bimbo, bimbo, wybija piosenki co noc. Wybija piosenki co noc.
Right, yes. Well, say no more. I think we'll just give that one a bit of a wrestle off the table. We'll hear something else. I think we'll pick another one out of the batch. This is on our Musa label. And the title is Philippinky. It says Philippinky to my. We are Philippinky girls. Well, that sounds a bit interesting. Polish girls, eh? Well, we'll put this on. And goodness knows what's it called? Warzawa Musa Politsky Nagriana record will reveal. I better give the stylus a clean, because this, whatever it is, this vinyl solution is causing there's a lot of crap on the needle. I might need a new stylus after this. Let's give it a go. Whoops, in the groove. Let's have a listen.
Stoi na zrzędzie zawsze 7 i chociaż chciałby zgadnąć widz, która z nas Anka, która Zosia, to nie odgadnie nic. Nawet gdy spyta o imiona, jak się nazywasz, powiedz jak. Niki Piwona, mówimy zawsze tak. Jedno wspólne imię mamy i
That's the Filipini Girls, a Polish artist from the 60s. Oh, look, we'll have to hear some more of this. It is just of its time and place.
Choć nam dzisiaj więcej wolno, bo matura już w kieszeni, bo się ma już to świadectwo dojrzałości. Tęskno nam za gwarem szkolnym i to chyba się nie zmieni, chociaż zawsze się marzyło o wolności. Profesorze, pókiś jeszcze blisko nas, profesorze, wysłuchaj póki czas. Profesorze, pókiś jeszcze blisko nas, profesorze, wysłuchaj póki czas. Tą piosenką cię żegnamy, profesorze, nasze myśli będą zawsze z tobą szły. Tą piosenką przepraszamy, profesorze, za kłopoty przepraszamy i za łzy. To jest nasze, profesorze, pożegnanie, a nie łatwo nam się rozstać, co tu kryć. Przyrzekamy rozwiązywać te zadanie, jak uczciwie i mądrze żyć. Dziś żegnamy szkolne mury naszych dobrych profesorów. Przez nas wkradł się siwy głos na wasze stronie. Dziękujemy za matury, za wykucie trudnych wzorów. Już nie dzieci, lecz dojrzałe stare konie. Profesorze, pókiś jeszcze blisko nas, profesorze, wysłuchaj póki czas. Profesorze, pókiś jeszcze blisko nas, profesorze, wysłuchaj póki czas. Tą piosenką cię żegnamy, profesorze, nasze myśli będą zawsze z tobą szły. Tą piosenką przepraszamy, profesorze, za kłopoty przepraszamy i za łzy. To jest nasze, profesorze, pożegnanie, a nie łatwo nam się rozstać, co tu kryć. Przyrzekamy rozwiązywać te zadanie, jak uczciwie i mądrze żyć. To jest nasze, profesorze, pożegnanie, a nie łatwo nam się rozstać, co tu kryć. Przyrzekamy rozwiązywać swe zadanie, jak uczciwie i mądrze żyć.
Oh, I was just getting into that. That's the Filipinski Girls, and oh, that record's brilliant. It's a swinger too. There's probably a bad joke in that. No, I won't go there. It's we'll save side B, the Filipinkies, for another time. This is vk3sl. We're sampling 45s discovered in the AWP shop today, Polish 45s, and as I said, I have no idea who these artists are or anything about them. I can't even read the labels, most of them. This one here, next one out of the batch, is completely gobbledygook to me. It just says Polski Nagrania, Warsaw. 45, Janusz Gwitiniotski, Spew. Well, he may be. And, there's a track called Indonesichka or something. I don't know. Well, look, we'll put it on. We'll see what happens. I just have absolutely no dear eye about these, but I sort of enjoy it. It brings me back to Czech, and it's sort of naive, and I can see them sort of dancing with their, singing with their national costumes on, with a little bit of pop spirit is there as well. And, yeah, music from Poland. Well, we'll put this into the Polish vaults, and we'll have to keep this material on at hand. Gets the tick so far. I'm not quite sure what sort of tick, but something. Let's see. Give that stylus a clean. There's a lot of gum. When I first played these, when I came home, I just did a little test on each, and they just were so much noise, it was just completely unplayable. So this Groove Glide, or whatever it is, this vinyl solution, brake fluid, transmission fluid, whatever's stinking the room out, seems to at least lubricate the records, and we can maybe that's making some sort of difference, but the noise reduction system seems to also be adding or making them at least playable. So look, let's have a listen to this next one. See what happens. vk3sl testing.
Kuba wyspa jak wulkan gorąca, ola, eja, palm wachlarze rozkłada do słońca, słońce do niej uśmiecha się, wiatr melodię wygrywa na pnączach.
Yeah, this one's mistracking pretty badly. I might just try a couple of things here. We'll do a master fade, and we'll have another look at this because it does sound a bit sort of out there. I might just take the stylus. Let's have a look. It's so scratched. Oh, I've lost the middle. Well, that's not so good. I need one of those 45 middle sensor bits. It's come off. We'll try it again, but I might just see if I can give the needle a proper clean. Yeah, it's really gummed up. So I'll just give this a go. I've got some alcohol here. Maybe I can dip it in that. And yeah, these stylus. It's a what am I using? A D6800 EL. 6800 is a very nice Stanton cartridge, great for this type of thing. It's a 0.4 by it's 0.4 thou by 0.7 thou, so it's good for early mono records. I find it tracks the early discs really well, and I bought a stack of these a while ago of a supplier in America, and they've been lasting me well, but I reckon this one may be reacting to the brake fluid. God knows. Anyhow, we've given it a clean now. We'll put the stylus back in, and maybe a bit of extra weight. The problem is that the vinyl quality is really low on these. They're probably produced in less than optimum circumstances. Oh, that's so heavy that the record won't work. I need a record clamp. No, I don't think we're going to get any success with this. I'll try something else, but I have a feeling it's not going to go. We'll try something here. vk3sl.
Wulkan gorąca, ola, eja, palm wachlarze rozkłada do słońca, słońce do niej uśmiecha się, wiatr melodię wygrywa na pnączach, hen na morze rybakom śle, ocean gładka toń, ptaków śpiew, kwiatów woń, to ojczyzna jest ma Kuba. Noc mnie znowu na morze zabierze, już w zatoce czeka lód, nim grzbiet wiosło falę uderzy, ty od brzegu piosenkę mi rzuć. Kuba wyspa jak wulkan gorąca, la, eja, palm wachlarze rozkłada do słońca, słońce do niej uśmiecha się, wiatr melodię wygrywa na pnączach, hen na morze rybakom śle, ocean gładka toń, ptaków śpiew, kwiatów woń, to ojczyzna jest ma Kuba.
I'll just keep this going. It may be a sacrificial play, so we'll hear what's on the next track.
Ryżowe pola mokną w wodzie, bawoły groblą ciągną wóz. Zmierzch cichy zapadł, więc jak co dzień znów do mnie wyjdź, nie zwlekaj już. Srebrzyście lśni piaszczysty plaży brzeg, tam czeka cię tancerzy krąg, śmiech dziewcząt jak szmer górskich rzek i łańcuch młodych rąk. Morze w bryzgach piach pieści plaży brzeg, pocalunkiem fal Indonezja. Przez zasłony z lian połyskuje się koralowych ram Indonezja. W dalekiej wiosce bęben dudni, po ziemi pełznie ognisk góry dym, na niebie płonie krzyż południa, wskazując drogę blaskiem swym. Łagodnie lśni piaszczysty plaży brzeg, we włosach milej biały kwiat, promień księżyca na nim legł, srebrzystą iskrą padł. Morze w bryzgach piach pieści plaży brzeg, pocalunkiem fal Indonezja. Przez zasłony z lian połyskuje się koralowych ram Indonezja.
Oh, it's not the Polish vodka. Sorry, it's not the vodka. It's the record that is dead on the ground. That record. Well, look, you know, that's what we have to expect. And so, yeah. Whoa, that was not such a good experience. But we'll keep it aside for the times when we need a little bit of Polish over-exuberance. Now, there's another one here on the Prontit. Oh, I love it. Prontit. Oh, what a name for a label. The Zapas Zagavetskinani or something. And this is Amulet Slow Foxtrot. That'll be boring. But the next track is Derby, which is a boogie. So I reckon this one says Jazzovsky. Oh, this could be all right. We'll see if this one's... hopefully it's an improvement on the last track. We're just sampling, taking risks. Let's see if this track comes alive. Goes to the top of the list. That is a Polish jazz record from the 1960s. I can't supply you with any more information. And as a part of a stash of 45s found at the AWP shop on the way home from work this afternoon. Yeah, an AWP shop in, where was it? It was off Warrigal Road. Anyhow, it was a whole stack of vinyls there. But these are 45s, and it's someone's collection, which is being, 20 cents each, because they're in such bad condition. So, yeah, it's been a bit of fun. We played about half of them, or less than that. There's quite a few more here, so we'll keep the topic open if we survive, if they survive, if I survive, because we've treated them with the vinyl solution. I didn't know what to do. I suppose I could have sprayed them with WD-40. Some people do that with their records. WD-40, what else? Mr. Sheen. That's more for 78s. I've been guilty of using Mr. Sheen on 78s. It does help a little bit of silicone lubricant on your 78. Well, I reckon what we might do now is go to our space special, because there is a fair bit of activity happening in the household. And I need to sort of make myself present. We have a concert tonight. We're going to a online concert. We originally had tickets for this concert, but sadly it can't happen live, which is sort of tragic, really. It's a friend of ours who's playing the piano. So I will look forward to that, but we've got to gear it all up and set things and get dinner before it all starts. So it'll be a short emissions tonight. We'll play an episode of Operation Lunar. This is the penultimate. I think it's only 13. And we're getting to the end of the series. So we'll hear this, and then, I don't know, if I can be back home from work in good time tomorrow, I'll do another missions. There's holidays next week for me, partly. So maybe, we'll see. We'll see if we can just keep these simmering along. And for those unacquainted, this is vk3sl, and these are tests, tone tests on 160 and on UHF. And there is a streaming service. If you want to be entertained, go and have a listen on YouTube. There's a live feed of these programs, and there's a backlog with literally hundreds of completely ridiculous, wasted ventures. But that's all there for perpetuity. So, yeah, let's have a listen to Journey into Space, Operation Lunar, Episode 12. I'm vk3sl, and thank you for your Polish indulgence.
The BBC presents Jet Morgan in Operation Lunar. Jet Morgan and the crew of rocket ship Luna stranded on the Earth some 20,000 years before they left it. They made contact with the time travelers, creatures from another part of the universe who many thousands of years ago began to colonize the Earth. But the time travelers are being driven away from the planet by the forest dwellers who, over the centuries, have gradually developed into creatures with intelligence and an apparently insatiable desire to destroy. The time travelers promise to help Jet and his crew get back to the moon and, it's hoped, the 20th century. So, final preparations for the takeoff were made.
Rotate the camera, Lemmy. Let's have one last look round, and then start scanning the sky for those ships.
Ships? Right. Rotating. This is the one place I won't be sorry to see the back of.
Ah, thank goodness we don't have to fish in that river anymore.
Hey, look.
What is it, Lemmy?
Smoke. There wasn't any that close when we were outside just now, was there?
Is it the crops or the smoke from the city being blown up?
No, it's too near for that.
Then them apes, or whatever they are,